Hello everyone, this is the tier list for open field combat, the one you've been waiting for. We've done the PvE side, so now let's move on to the PvP, the one to earn your merits. So stay tuned for all the info you're going to need to know. Hello, so yes, we're going over all the open field heroes in this video for free-to-play players, especially if you're a low spender. Obviously you can look at this for guidance, because obviously the free-to-play players have limited options compared to you guys, but it does give you a good indication of what to use and maybe what to spend money on later down, right? So let's go over everything you need to know about the open field, how it works, and basically the best pairings to use on the open field. So before we get into anything, remember, smash a like, comment and subscribe guys to the video and to the channels, because without you the channel's not going to be here, right? And I need you guys to keep pumping out those likes, keep pumping out that subscriptions, because the closer we get to 500, the closer we get to a giveaway, as you know. So right, let's go into it. The pairings and how open field. So the quick little, like, I'd say intro into open field. If you guys haven't really checked out any of my videos, or maybe you haven't experienced open field combat yet, the way open field combat works in this game compared to Rise of Kingdoms is vastly different, because range combat is actually a major factor, and mobility is also a big factor in this game, because there's certain units like the flying units and the cavalry units that are able to actually out terrain people and catch people out, and because of the terrain levels as well, it allows you to outmaneuver your enemies. So there's a lot of things that goes into pairings and the best pairings on the open field. So I'm going to go over some free-to-play options for you, right? So the free-to-play options are very straightforward and very easy to go over. I'm going to go from probably worst to the best. I'm trying to keep it real with you guys, right? It's going to be hard to pick the worst pairing to go for though, but the best one is very easy to remember for a free-to-play player. It's the go-to. But pair number 4, let's, without no more hesitation, if you're a free-to-play player and you are maybe you've completed season 1 and you're going into season 2, because I always suggest season 1 as more of like a prep season. You all learn and you get to know each other before maybe you merge as a server or go into a KVK. So it's all like powering up to basically and working together to actually get some rewards. One of the best combos you can actually run on the open field, and I see it often enough without failure, and it's always this one boy, and it's Alistair with Emeries. And the reason we run Alistair with Emeries and not the other way around, and you can run it the other way around, but this way in my eyes is better, is because you can expertise your Alistair over time. And an Emeries only needs to be 5-1-1-1-1 to be relevant. Even a 5-5-1-1 Emeries is perfect. You don't need to invest anything else, though it's just like a good amount of investment, because you get all the damage and all the rage accumulation you need with the rage accumulation and buffs from Alistair. And the reason why you want Alistair in front, and it sounds weird, is because his talent trees is actually better than Emeries. Emeries gives you the cavalry and the mobility tree, and the cavalry mobility tree is good to get you around everywhere you need to get around, right? But the thing is, the cavalry tree isn't that great. The PvP tree he has is okay, but to run a full PvP cavalry tree hasn't been really done yet, and it doesn't seem to be beneficial for a free-to-play player to run, right? Because it's a very almost nuke front line, and that's the thing you don't want. You don't want him to die, and that's where Alistair comes in, because Alistair has the cavalry and the tank tree. So with this, you can actually go down a really cool route with Alistair, which allows you to actually run down some of the tank tree after you've gone down the cavalry route. So you go down the cavalry route at the start, getting the damage and getting the bonuses at killing units, and then you move over to the tank tree to gain extra regen when you're being hit, to reduce the damage taken, as well as whenever you actually activate your rage ability, like your AoE effect, you gain extra defense for doing so. So it's a really good combination to have for cavalry, because cavalry are melee, so you need to get in and you need to get out without dying. So being able to actually tank up, for me, for a free-to-play player, this is one of the best cavalry options you have right now. The thing is, later down the line, and which will happen, and this is where I'm going to put Bakshi. Bakshi will replace your Emrys, and this is when he becomes a 5-1-1-5 commander, and this is Emrys. This is Bakshi I'm talking about now. So this would then go down to here, and this is a really good combo to run as well. But generally, you have Alistair at the front line. Again, you can change this now to have him to have the skill tree, which is great. But you do get Bakshi quite later on, but as a great starter free-to-play cavalry option, I'm not going to lie, Alistair and Emrys, you see it everywhere, and it is a great pair to pick. It's not the best on it's not the best pairing, but it is a great pair to run together, right? So now we're going to start running into the dangerous territory, and this is where we have Elena. Elena is a very good commander, and she's in pair 3. The thing is, with Elena and free-to-play players, you get to have her maxed out very fast, which allows you to run stuff like Guan Elena, or you could run even like Craig Elena, you could run Atheus Elena, you can run Halloween Elena, like it goes on, right? It goes on. You can even run legendaries. This is a really good combination, Elena and Niko. You know, it's a really good combo. So there's a load of combos, and I'm leaving Elena by herself because pair 3 is specifically her. She is the pairing because she has the overall and support tree with the peacekeeping. We don't care about peacekeeping, but the support tree is such a good tree, and it's probably being undervalued at the moment. It allows you to remove buffs, it allows you to gain more shields anytime that match heals, which it naturally does when it's expertised. It deals damage for healing. Like, it's so good, and her skills as a hero, it gives you a little bit of damage, it gives you a little bit of sustain. She reduces the normal attack amount you take by 30%, which is nuts. She gives you a decent healing factor. Like, there's so many things she does and provides to the match, which is so good and beneficial that you compare her with generally anyone on the open field, and that's why I have her on pair 3, and it's just her, because again, there's too many combinations you can run with her, and I think that's why she's so good for free-to-play players. And you guys are going to realize this the more and more you use her, and the later it goes in the season, you're going to see her more and more on the field, because it's crazy how well she does compared to the Rise of Kingdoms equivalent, like Loha. Like, Loha is trash, right? But Elena is gas, man. She is cooking, dude. So that is, for me, the best third pairing involved. But now we're going to the hot zone. These are the best two. These are the top 2 pairings now. So we're getting into the spice, the creme of de la creme, right? So if you've made it through this so far, smash a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. You know, you're doing me a service for watching it all the way through to here, and hitting that button around here is perfect, and you get into the juicy bit, right? So pairing number 2, what is the best pairing number 2? And for me, it's Craig with Guanwin. As you can see, these are all the epic free-to-play combos. I'm gonna go over more, don't worry, but this combo is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I've recently just expertised both of these commanders and tested this out on the open field combat. The amount of damage you're allowed to pump out with both of these commanders together is unreal. The skill damage increase with Craig on Guan Win is nuts. The normal attack damage that Guan gives Craig is nuts. The amount of sheer stats you gain from both matches is just nuts. you get access to 2 of the best talent pages you can go for. You can have an amazing marksman and mobility tree for the where you have full marksman talents, and then you have the last 10 or like 12 talents in mobility to just give you that ability to get in and out of combat, which is great with Craig, right? But with the Guan Win primary, the Guan Win allows you to have marksman and precision, which again allows you to go 50 points in, 45 points into marksman and 15 points into precision. It also allows you to do the spicy 60-point precision tree. It also allows you to do a 50 precision, a 45 precision tree with a 15 talent tree. And when I'm talking about that, if you're confused, it's when you hit your talents and you can have points in either left or right or forward, if you can imagine, and it's just allocating so many points. So when you hit 45, you unlock the final skill of that tree, right? So this combo is bonkers, right? And it is so good for free-to-play players. And the thing is, with free-to-play players, when you get gold keys, it gets better, and that's where Niko comes in. And for me, if you're gonna go for purely merits and you're gonna try and get purely kills on the open field combat, the combo is running a Niko and Craig combo, because the way it works is you want Niko to fire his skull first. He'll deal his 1400 damage nuke, and then he'll reduce their defense by 15%. And by doing so with an expertise to Craig, his actual skill 1 now deals an absurd amount of damage, and his bleed he applies to them deals an absurd amount of damage too. So you do so much damage, and you have skill damage increase. And in open field, you want quick burst. You just want to get in and out, in and out. It's not about consistent damage in open field. It's about burst windows and getting out of there, right? And you'll notice that when you start playing in the open field combat on this system compared to Rise of Kingdoms, where a lot of it is like, obviously because it's so toe-to-toe fighting and there's no range, you don't get to see the difference in capabilities in fighting, right? So for me, eventually pairing 2 will evolve into this when you get Niko. But if you don't have Niko, the archers basically are pairing number 2. Now, the best pairing. And you guys know it, and I know you guys scream it in every video because I never mention him, because he isn't good in raids. He's okay in raids, but he's not designed for that. But it's your boy Waldir, and for free-to-play players, mages are undoubtedly the best unit type to run. It's just like the fact that they have very far range compared to just far. You outrange even the archers, so you can deal damage to them and escape before they get to you, right? And a lot of the mages are designed to deal burst damage. Archers are generally designed to deal consistent damage, and that's why when we were going over pairing 2, the Niko Craig one's better than Niko and Guan, because it's dealing big bursts of skill damage on the open field over consistent damage, right? But Waldir with Alwyn, oh my lord, this match is so good. For free-to-play players, you get access to this from the very start. You can pick League of Order, you can open your gold keys, you can start scouting and get in your Waldir heads and get in Waldir to a 5-1-1-1 state very fast in this game. And by doing so, you're going to get gold keys to get your Alwyn unlocked, and then pump your epic heads into Alwyn so he gets to a 5 and then 1-1-1 state after. Bro, this match is cooking. It deals so much AoE damage. It has so many good buffs because it gives you magic attack and magic health, which is the 2 most relevant buffs you need on the open field. It also gives you a ability to slow your opponent twice through Halloween and through Waldeer. It also gives you shielding. It also gives you skill damage boost. Oh, and did I mention again, it's also AoE. It's like, it's so obscene how good March this is for a free-to-play player. Like, it's so good. And I've seen people starting to experience, because you've got Indis, right? Some people are trying Indis with this March. However, if again you're in the early game now because of the game's been progressing and you have a 5-1-1-1 fear, a 5-1-1-1-1 fear is very good at making Waldeer a very tanky mage now on the open field. And the reason is she gives you that 1k shield. She gives you an additional 15% extra skill damage boost on his next skill, as well as the stats that she provides, which is the, let me just clarify, the defense bonus. And if obviously you was using League of Order flying units, you would get the bonus of 20% march speed. You also get the attack bonus stat that increases over time. Like, it's so nuts how much damage you get and like sustainability you get for this March. So you can run this as a great option too. Also, you have Atheist that we've not mentioned. Atheist also is a great option to run in this March. It allows you to have Waldeer primary and an Atheist behind him for bigger single target damage hits, as well as it allows you to give that extra bit of rage regen to the March, and it gives you a little bit of healing. But overall, damage wise, the Halloween one is better because it gives you more stats, so you sustain in battle longer. So it's up to you what you want to run in the pairing 1 window, but for me it's always going to be this pairing. Right now we get to a honorable mentions, and we're not mentioning infantry units, and that's the one thing I'm going to try, and if you've not noticed, keep away. You can use cavalry if you're free to play because they're really mobile, but infantry units tend to die. And it's not like in Rise of Kingdoms where they're really cheap. It's not really cheap to keep throwing infantry units out there to get little merits, right? So I would avoid using your units for like being an infantry main. Unless you're like a low spender whale, then that's fine. You can run a front line to protect your back line. That's great. But an honorable mention to do actually provide some couple of future iterations is actually like Atheist with Craig. This March here, or Craig with Atheist. It depends if you're League of Order or Wilderberg. Wilderberg runs Craig primary, so you have Wyvern flying units, which are archers. And if you're League of Order, you have the Celestials, so then you have flying magic units, so you run him, Atheist, as the primary instead. And this allows that march to actually be a fully flying march with some benefits for having both commander slots filled with both of them. You see it used a lot, but this will be replaced by Fear very soon. Whoever, again, if you're running Wilderberg, it'll be Craig, but if you're running League of Order, it'll be Atheist. You want her behind just so she's hidden at first, because I think you're gonna, if what I've seen so far, if there's a Fear on the ground, everyone targets it and she dies. So you want to hide her, kind of like an Aetherfled. You kind of like want to hide the Aetherfled, right? Otherwise she dies. So that's a really good honorable mention. Another really good honorable mention that I'm gonna talk about is a support match, which is Indis and Pan. This is a really cool idea that you could bring in the open field. Since Indis is completely free, you will be able to max her out over time, and when you do get her to like a 5-1-1-1 state, you can put her behind an expertised Pan. And by doing so let's put this in order. By doing so, the Pan is this great support actually in the game that allows you to target the front lines and target other marchers that, you know, taking damage, and actually heal them, provide them with buffs, because Innis provides some great buffs. She provides debuffs to the enemy in the open field. You could run the artifacts like Breath of Gigantis to do a big AoE burst of like defense reduction. So you can do a lot of variety of things with this match that maybe in the future might be something to consider. So that's why these honorable mentions are going to be sat here for the free-to-play players. And that pretty much, guys, sums up the open field pairing guides. If you're looking for pairs, these are them. Remember, you can run anything you want here in the pair 3 slot. But this is how I would consider for free-to-play players, the best choices of matches you can run, right? So if you enjoyed this video, smash a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. So peace out.